asked him what he liked about that second quarter. He said the defensive intensity was ratcheted up. And in regards to Kevin Durant specifically, he said that they did a much better job of keeping 5 sets of eyes on him. He loved their shot profile in regards to their shooting. You mentioned their 14 threes. He thought a lot of them came on catch and shoots, which is where they excel. For Phoenix, though, I spoke to Chad Forcier, their assistant coach, and he lamented their defense in the sense that he felt like they needed to trust their scheme and run it with more intensity. And sometimes it's as simple as just closing out harder and doing the little things harder, Dave.
Now, the defense had been better during this 4-game win streak. Wins over Cleveland and Milwaukee and a hot Chicago team during that stretch. They've got it to 16, but they give up who has 12.
Al Horford taking advantage of that hot shooting first half, knowing the closeouts are coming harder, so he could just up fake and get to the rim pretty easily.
Boston in the middle of a 6-game road trip as Porzingis gets the block on Richards. No Tatum tonight. Maybe he'll be back for the Celtics' next game in San Antonio Saturday. Brown's pull-up jumper no good. Phoenix is in Minnesota Friday. Each team with 9 games left after tonight. Gillespie, corner 3, no.
Players for Phoenix, Ryan Dunn, Gillespie, Royce O'Neal. Those guys are going to have to knock down their share of threes with the amount of attention that Booker and Durant are getting from Boston defensively.
Horford in the lane, spins and fires to the corner. White's 3, no good. Horford and the putback attempt blocked.
Second double figures, and it's incumbent upon those guys to knock down the open lead, come out and have that many clean looks in the first 6 minutes. You're setting up your night defensively. Gonna have to make some threes, and that is where these role players come in.
No Bradley Beal for the 5th straight game. Injured left hamstring. No timetable yet for his return. Booker, no good. The tip won't fall either from Dunn. And the Suns have a decision to make in the next couple weeks on Colin Gillespie. Horford 3 not there. And a player to make room for Gillespie, and they have not made that decision yet.
Ultimately, I think he's earned it, a right to stay. Now, I don't know ultimately what his role will be in the postseason once they get Bradley Beal back, but he's become a crowd favorite, and there's no doubt he has helped stabilize them.
Durant. Booker's got 9 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. The other star for Phoenix. Porzingis, corner 3, White. It's good. And that's the 5th.
It's so tough because they did a good job taking away the look by Porzingis, but he's able to put it back down and then go make a play for a corner shooter.
White's got 9 points, 3 3-pointers, turnover, and a 2-on-1. Booker did a great job there to break that up and then
forces that ball off Derek White.
Here's Booker, who has not scored in the last 10 minutes. Working on Holiday, goes right into his chest. Holiday takes a seat, no whistle. Done. Off the mark on the 3. And then down court is Horford for the slam.
Decision by Kevin Durant, who gave it right back to him. It was pretty clear he did not want that look. I think Durant should have held on to that ball and created some offense.
And Ryan Dunn's taken the most 3-pointers tonight for Phoenix.
Mixed in an occasional 3, the way.
Only 1 3-point shot attempt for Durant tonight. Points now, first points of the 3rd quarter for Book. Back to a 19-point game, which is nothing. Being down 19 is nothing these days in the NBA. A forced turnover by the Suns defense. Done in transition.
Earns 2 free throws.
And Dunn missed them both.
Neither really close. It's just something he's going to have to tighten up to add more value to his game, because this end of the floor, he brings a lot.
What a move by Jaylen.
As I'm lauding Ryan Dunn's defense, Jaylen Brown must have heard me and said, let's see if he's got an answer for this.
Richards. Jaylen Brown has 18 points tonight to lead the Celtics in scoring, playing without Jason Tatum. Just the 7th game that Tatum has missed this year. Hurt his ankle in the last Celtic game against the Kings. Warmed up, was actually upgraded from doubtful to questionable, but did not suit up. Here's Brown for 3. Good. Jaylen Brown.
Knowing he's going to have more opportunities without Jason Tatum on the floor tonight, and he got into rhythm early, and he's got it all working right now.
And he was under 10 points his last 2 games, first time since February of last year. 2-game stretch where he did not reach double digits. But he's broken out of that mini slump, if you will, tonight with 21 points. Holiday wide open, another three-pointer. Would play Sacramento right now in the 9-10 game. They have a one-game lead in the loss column over Dallas, and they own the tiebreaker with the Mavs as well. A loss, though, would put Phoenix at 35 and 38. Booker
drawing that foul, and typically Phoenix will have an answer offensively when they hit a rough patch. This end of the floor, that's been the big challenge all night, catching up to the basketball against the Boston Celtics.
Giving up 90 points, 53% shooting, 17 threes. And again, most of those attempts came in that first quarter. He was 6 of 8. It's only 3 shots since. Now he's trying to defend Porzingis.
Put that hand in there.
The championship last year. And
huge NBA Finals before he went down and wasn't really a factor in the rest of the series, and they still were able to win a title.
And he obviously was important last year to have him healthy, but given how Cleveland is built, that they have to face the Cavs. If it gets to that point with those double bigs that Cleveland has, you would imagine Porzingis will be very important in that series. He gets Booker there. Porzingis with an easy basket. 27-point game, largest lead for Boston. O'Neal for 3, no good. Phoenix 5 of 23 from 3. Jaylen Brown with that jab step. He wants to isolate here on O'Neal. Brown gets past his man, lobs it up for.
No matter who it is.
At the time when Jaylen Brown was drafted, we were doing a lot of Cal basketball games. Bill Walton was the color analyst. And obviously he and Danny Ainge are tight. Bill would ask Danny, who are you here? I'm here to watch Ivan Rabb. In part because he probably knew that if Walton heard him say, I'm here to watch Jaylen Brown, that it would end up on TV. So he kept saying Ivan Rabb, Ivan Rabb. And then Jaylen Brown is drafted 3rd overall by Boston, and the rest is history. He was not there to see Ivan Rabb. Here's Booker, blocked by Porzingis. Saved by Pritchard. But if you remember Jaylen Brown, that 1 year at Cal, he pretty much would put his head down and drive. Was not known as a passer or a shooter, but very smart player, tough, and he's turned into a terrific NBA player.
That ultimately is what
technical foul, so Brown will stay at the line. But that's, I think, with Jaylen Brown and Jason, that they are when they were drafted. And at that time, Boston was not
fire a Kristaps Porzingis, a Drew Holiday, a Derek White. Answers, at least temporarily. He's had a hot night all night. I don't think Kevin Durant's had enough shots in this game, to be honest.
At stake. And he was on the bench as part of the
you know, kind of expected without Jason Tatum, as much as Boston switch onto him. So he got some smaller guys on him, and he got cooking early, but Boston just was unrelenting with their offensive attack.
Martin's 3 around and out. So Durant has 2 threes. He's 2 for 2. The rest of the team is 4 for 21.
And this is the second best three-point percentage team in the NBA. So this is a really rare off night for them from the three-point.
And it's a 32-point game.
The dual threat that he is, the post, the three-point shooting, and then also you've seen a number of times tonight defensively what he does in the lane and the way he takes away space and daylight.
Durant will rise, and it's an air ball from three-point land. Boston trying to make it 7 straight wins, or is catching fire at the right time. The playoffs start in just 3 weeks. Tyus Jones prior to that hit.
And he's only taken 2, and he shot 49% from the 3 in March, so he hasn't been as involved as he has been recently either.
Porzingis stepped out of bounds.
Our defense are rebounding and crashing. All right, here we go.
And they're doing all those things and more. It's been a complete performance tonight for the Boston Celtics. 31-point lead with 2 minutes to go. Martin has it blocked.
It's not Cornet with a hard closeout, full extension.
Second block for Cornet. Brown's 3 short. Rebound O'Neal. Porzingis staying on the floor with 28 points. He's got the last 7 for Boston. Corner 3, line drive, swishes through for Martin. Phoenix will head on the road to play Minnesota on Friday. They've lost 7 in a row to the Wolves, including 4 in the playoffs last year, 3 this year in the regular season. They still have to go to Boston, Milwaukee, and New York, play the Warriors and Thunder. It'll be a very difficult schedule. They try to. Celtics are rolling. 27-point lead for Boston. 18 made threes. 10 of those came in the first quarter. On pace for more than 140 points tonight. Derek White misses a 3, but there's Horford. He's had a great night all the way around. And Hauser pointer.
Yeah, at Phoenix, with a smaller lineup out there again, you have 2 bigs for Boston. It led to the offensive rebound by Horford, just too big for Grayson Allen. And again, second opportunity. Boston just murders you with those chaos possessions.
Martin looking for some help after he stopped his dribble. And Hauser gets a deflection, forces a turnover. Backdoor cut by Holiday. 26 assists for the Celtics. 17 of those have come on the 19 made threes. Here's Devin Booker. Just 4 of 11. He's got 8 assists. Just 13.
Difference maker for Boston. Just 30 in Boston with his just effect all over the floor on both ends.
Hauser gets another deflection. White tried to lob it to Cornette, broken up by Tyus Jones. Booker underneath, Iguodala with the slam. Celtics are on the road for 2 more games at the Spurs on Saturday. We'll see if Jason Tatum is back, dealing with an ankle issue, and then they'll finish up the road trip in Memphis on Monday night. This will be their 14th road win in their last 5. Derek White with 4.
And I'm so impressed with how much quicker Derek White gets his shot off than when he first came into the league. And I think a lot of that has to do with playing here and the opportunities from the 3-point line that Joe Mazzulla wants you to take. He is constantly ready before that ball gets to him.
To your point, he's taken 10 shots tonight. They've all been threes. He's made 4. Plumlee on the court for the first time tonight, misses that one.
And 12 of his last 15 games, he has taken more than 10 threes.
On the year, White averaging a career high 16 points per game, shooting 39% from 3, career high in made threes 241. White in the lane, his first 2-point attempt, and he makes it.
He's such a good player. He's so patient and so aware, so smart. That's why he has fit in seamlessly from the very beginning when he arrived in Boston.
He'll be on the all-defensive
scene in his time in the league, and he loves that exact type of closeout.
2 more free throws for Grayson Allen. Take a look at our upcoming NBA, because that's a big game in the West standings. For more at NBA.com. You've got 2 games right now separating 2 through 5 in the West, with Houston, Denver, Memphis, and the Lakers. One of those teams is going to have to start on the road in the first round of the playoffs. Lakers got a huge win tonight on LeBron James putback at the buzzer. Highlights of that coming up on SportsCenter. Lakers ending a 3-game losing streak. Indiana had won 5 in a row. Holiday with another great rhythm in this game. Step back 3, not there for Holiday. Plumlee rebounds. Allen trying to go baseline, out to Tyus Jones. 3-pointer from Jones, got it. Second 3 ball for Jones.
Yeah, he's been in such a rhythm. Just not a lot of looks tonight, but he has been lighting it up for the Suns for well over a month from the 3-point line. It wasn't just one bucket. It was a bunch of them thrown there, will allow the Celtics to hire night. So you try not to draw too much from this. You got to get back to a very difficult schedule and continue to play the way you have over the last couple of weeks.
The margin for error gets slimmer and slimmer the more losses that pile up, and you get to this stage of the year with the schedule. Now, we don't know at this point, with the teams that they have, where's Oklahoma City going to be late? Are they going to want to rest anybody? Is Boston, when they meet again, going to want to rest anybody? Is Dame Lillard going to be back? What about Giannis? Is he going to? So, you know, Golden State's going to be playing for something, but not everybody on that schedule we just showed you may have that same sense of urgency that the Celtics have right now. 122-89. 5 minutes gone by in the fourth. Booker can't bank it in. Just 4 for 13 tonight for Booker. Peyton Pritchard's had a quiet night. 7 points. 1 of 6 from 3. Candidate for not only 6th man of the year, but most improved player in the NBA. Taylor Shireman stripped.
Grace torn ACL, and speaking from some experience with a matching set of ACL tears, I know what she's got ahead of her over the next 9 to 12
quarters. Porzingis 30 points, Jaylen Brown 24. Horford had 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. And again, no Jason Tatum. Still Boston with a great game. Torrey Craig, former Sun, getting some action here as well. Pritchard off the mark on the 3. A rare rough night shooting for him. 1 for 7 from deep. Only got a couple more weeks to fill out the ballots, and it'll be interesting where Pritchard is concerned, because there really are 2 awards that he's in the mix for: 6th man of the year and most improved player.
As you see, Bol knock down 3. He just has a knack for scoring. Sometimes he's in the rotation, sometimes not. Either way, he knows how to put the ball in the basket. But Peyton Pritchard, what a dramatic increase in his role with this team from one year to the next.
A teammate of Bol
And they're with him about when Tatum has been out or guys have been injured, as Bol guys have stepped up in a big way, and no one has stepped up in a bigger way in Tatum's absences than Peyton Pritchard. So the Celtics are 12-2 over the last 2 seasons when Tatum has missed. Pritchard has the biggest increase in points per game. He goes from 11.8 to 20.
And that Jason Tatum has
3 weeks away from the start of the playoffs, which imagine that they would face the winner of that 7-8 play-in tournament game. And right now the 7 is Atlanta. Orlando is the 8. And so that would be that first-round matchup.
And what you've seen tonight is an example of, there are 3 teams in this league this year, with Boston, Cleveland, and Oklahoma City, that when they play to their highest level, they're just different than everybody else in the league right now. And that's really what this was for Boston tonight, the way they started this game.
Is there a 4th team? Is it Denver? Is it the Lakers? Is it the Knicks if they're healthy?
Who is the 2nd best team in the Western Conference? I think that is where the answer to your question is going to come from. Who is that, though? We're not sure. At different times, it's been different teams that you've looked to out there. Could be any of the teams that you just mentioned.
Monte Morris for 3. Shireman, it's worth it.
I don't want to miss that on the way back to the hotel, so I might just stay at the arena to watch that segment.
Well, after watching you throw down all those fries last night, I can imagine that you're a big tater tot guy, and I think you'll appreciate Richie Saunders even more when you hear the story coming up. Shireman for 3. No.
Did a good job with those fries last night, by the way.
Thank you.
You handled that pretty well.
Morris on the drive. George, are you a tater tot guy?
I'm anything potato guy, and I will say this: we need to compliment the chef here, Legs, to your point. Chef, and a nice eye at the Pash Mansion here.
Watch some games, eat some great food.
It was great to have you guys, and only I made tater tots, this would have really brought the night all together for the Saunders family and the Pash. So Phoenix is going to fall to 35-38. This will end a 4-game, and they've got to go on the road to Minnesota. 54-19. 7 straight wins, matches their season high. 12 out of 13 with the only loss to Oklahoma City.
Hey, you watched a team tonight with laser focus that, as you mentioned during one of the breaks to me, they're just in playoff mindset right now. And they put on a show tonight, the way that they got cooking early in this game. Very difficult to corral them once they've gotten loose, and they certainly got loose, and their best players played great. Jaylen Brown was sensational. Kristaps Porzingis had a huge night as well.
21 3-pointers, 44 paint points, 20 made free throws. Three-pointer from Damian Lee. And now Boston gets a couple days off. They hope to get Jason Tatum back for their game Saturday against San Antonio on the road.
And they showed Jason Tatum on the bench a little while ago, and he was practicing his golf swing. San Antonio, because they've got 2 days off right before they play their next game.
Now the consistency of the Celtics in a year where in one, the Suns are one of those teams, the Boston. And that's a testament to Joe Mazzulla, the head coach, and the leadership in that locker room.
And so much attention has gone to Cleveland and Oklahoma City, justifiably so for the years that they've had. But you look up right now, and the way Boston is playing, this will be 12 out of 13.
It's on 7 of those teams plus 500, including another game against Boston.
And we just witnessed my least favorite thing in sports, the intentional shot clock violation. You know how I feel about that, Dave? Boston dribbling the clock out.